They told you that being nice earns respect. They told you that being open builds trust. They told you that if you just explain yourself clearly enough, people will finally understand you. And look at where that advice has taken you. Ignored. Walked over. Taken for granted. Disrespected by the very people you treated with loyalty, patience, and good intentions. And here's the cruel part. You probably think it's your fault. You think maybe you weren't nice enough. Maybe you weren't clear enough. Maybe you didn't explain your feelings well enough. Maybe you just need to try harder. But that was never the problem. The real problem is this. You've been playing by rules that were never meant to benefit you. Rules designed to keep you soft. Rules designed to keep you predictable. Rules designed to make you easy to control. Rules that turn you into someone people use, not someone they respect. And today, those rules end. Because there is a certain type of person who moves through this world differently. They don't explain themselves. They don't justify their decisions. They don't seek approval. They don't beg to be understood. Most of the time, they don't even speak. Yet somehow, everyone adjusts around them. People choose their words carefully. People hesitate before crossing them. People feel tension in their presence. Why? Because these people understand something you're about to learn. Something Machiavelli understood 5 centuries ago. Something that separates the powerful from the powerless. The world does not respect goodness. It respects mystery. The world does not bow to kindness. It bows to psychological dominance. You've seen it yourself. The person who barely talks commands more respect than the one who explains everything. The quiet ones are feared, while the loud ones are ignored. Your transparency makes you vulnerable, while their silence makes them untouchable. Stay with me, because once you understand this, the way you see power will change forever. This is not about being cruel. This is not about becoming heartless. This is about understanding the dark psychology of respect. This is about weaponizing silence, weaponizing mystery, weaponizing unpredictability. This is about becoming someone people fear losing, someone people move carefully around, someone people never dare to take for granted. You ready? Because there's no going back after this. Drop this in the comments. Silence is my weapon. Number 1. Why people underestimate and disrespect you. Be honest with yourself. When someone disrespects you, what do? You explain how you feel. You tell them why what they said hurt you. You open up emotionally, hoping they'll finally understand your perspective. And what happens? They do it again. Maybe they apologize first. Maybe they act understanding. Maybe they promise change. But then, same behavior, same disrespect, same cycle. Here's why. Every time you emotionally explain yourself, you hand them a weapon. You show them exactly where you're sensitive, exactly where it hurts, exactly how to control you. You're giving them a detailed map of your vulnerabilities. And they use it, not because they're evil, but because human nature is predatory. Humans instinctively exploit weakness. You think you're being mature. You think you're being authentic. You think you're being emotionally intelligent. But here's the brutal truth. Your emotional transparency is destroying your power. Every time you show someone how their words affect you, you teach them how to manipulate you. Every time you defend yourself, you signal insecurity. Every time you explain your choices, you reveal that you want validation. And people who seek validation receive none. People who show all their cards get played. People who are emotionally predictable get exploited. This is the game you didn't know you were playing. And you've been losing because you've been playing with honor in a world that rewards cunning. Look around. Who gets real respect? Is it the person who's always available? Always explaining? Always trying to make everyone comfortable? No. That person gets used. That person becomes the emotional dumping ground. That person becomes the backup option. Respect goes to the one who is distant, unreadable, calm, slightly cold, the one who doesn't explain their absence, the one who doesn't justify their decisions, the one who doesn't react emotionally when provoked. Why? Because predictability breeds contempt. When people know exactly how you'll react, they stop respecting you. You become manageable, controllable, solved. But when you're unreadable, when your emotions are hidden behind calm eyes and measured silence, people hesitate.
They don't know whether you'll forgive them or erase them from your life completely. And that uncertainty creates fear. That fear is respect. You were taught that being liked and being respected are the same thing. They are not. You can be liked and powerless. People may enjoy you, but they won't hesitate to cancel on you, lie to you, or use you. Why? Because there are no consequences. You train them that disrespecting you is safe. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. People don't treat you based on what you deserve. They treat you based on what you allow. As he said, men judge more by the eye than by the hand. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few feel what you truly are. Right now, people don't see weakness because you are weak. They see weakness because you are too visible, too readable, too emotionally accessible. They've categorized you, and that category is your prison. The only way out? Become unreadable. Stop explaining. Stop defending. Stop reacting. Become a closed system. Let people wonder what you're thinking. Let them guess your intentions. Let them fear that they crossed a line they can't see. That uncertainty is the beginning of power. You're not being cruel. You're being strategically unavailable. And untouchable people are always respected. Ask yourself, do you want to stay comfortable and disrespected? Or controlled, feared, and respected? Drop this in the comments. I am unreadable. Number 2. The power of silence and unreadability. Silence is not passive. Silence is not weakness. Silence is psychological warfare. When someone attacks you and you say nothing, they panic. When someone tries to provoke you and you don't react, they lose control. When someone expects defense and meets silence, their strategy collapses. They were prepared for your words. They were prepared for your emotions. They were not prepared for nothing. Silence creates a void, and humans cannot tolerate voids. So they fill it with fear, with doubt, with paranoia. Why aren't they reacting? What are they thinking? Did I go too far? The longer you stay silent, the worse it gets. In their mind, you become dangerous. You don't need to threaten. You don't need to explain. Your calm does the damage. Now imagine this. Someone disrespects you. You don't respond. You just look at them. Still, calm, observant. 5 seconds pass. 10 seconds. 15. They start talking, filling the silence. Their confidence cracks. And you? You're in control. Machiavelli said best. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few feel what you really are. Control the appearance. Hide the depth. Show calm. Show restraint. Show silence. And let people project power onto you. Because when people can't read you, they assume the worst.
That's powerful.
And they treat you with fear. That is psychological dominance.
That's dominance. And people feel it. They might not consciously understand why they feel different around you, but instinctively, they know. They sense they're in the presence of someone operating on a different level. Someone who doesn't need words to assert power. Someone who doesn't seek validation to feel secure. Someone who is perfectly comfortable being misunderstood, because they've realized something most people never do. Being understood is overrated. You need to become that person. You need to train yourself to be comfortable inside silence, comfortable inside tension, comfortable in those moments when everyone expects you to speak and you deliberately choose not to. Let them squirm. Let them rush to fill the void with nervous chatter. Let them talk too much. Let them over-explain. Let them expose themselves. Because every word they speak while you remain silent is information. Information about their fears, their insecurities, their motivations, their strategies, their weaknesses. And you're collecting all of it. You're processing it. You're storing it. You're using it, while giving them absolutely nothing in return. That's how you stay 10 steps ahead. That's how you maintain control. That's how you command respect without ever demanding it. Through silence, through mystery, through being the only person in the room who doesn't feel the need to fill the air with noise. Be that person. Be the silence that makes others uncomfortable. Be the presence that shifts the energy without speaking. Be untouchable. Drop this in the comments. My silence speaks volumes. Number 3, the danger of over-explaining. Do you want to know the weakest thing you can do? Defend yourself to someone who doesn't respect you. Here's what happens. Someone questions your decision, challenges your choice, doubts your judgment, and instantly you feel that pull.
the urge to explain, to justify, to make them understand why you did what you did. You think you're being reasonable. You think you're being mature. You think you're showing strong communication. But in reality, you're begging for approval. You're telling them their opinion matters so much that you need to justify yourself. You're revealing insecurity in your own decisions. And insecurity has a smell. People sense it like blood and water. Now they know they can push you. They know if they question you long enough, you'll fold. You'll doubt yourself. You'll adjust your stance. You'll seek reassurance. That's weakness. That's surrender. That's handing over your power willingly. Powerful people don't explain themselves. They don't defend their choices. They don't justify their actions to people who haven't earned access. They decide, and then they let the decision exist. Final, unquestionable, non-negotiable. And something interesting happens when you stop explaining. People stop questioning you, because there's nothing to attack. No emotional opening. No insecurity to exploit. Your decision simply is. They can accept it, or they can leave. That's authority. That's power. That's respect. Think back. The last time someone questioned you. Why you said no. Why you changed your mind. Why you chose a different path. You probably launched into explanations, listed reasons, defended logic, maybe even apologized. And what happened? They didn't respect you more. They pushed harder, questioned deeper, made you doubt yourself. Now imagine a different response. I've decided. And silence. Or, this is what I'm doing. No justification. What can they argue with? Nothing. There's no weakness to grab onto. Machiavelli understood this perfectly when he said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves." Be smart enough to recognize traps disguised as questions. Be strong enough to refuse to engage. They want you emotional. They want you explaining. They want you exposed. Don't give it to them. When you explain yourself, you're not clarifying. You're revealing doubt. And people who seek validation receive none. It's a paradox, but it's real. The less you seek approval, the more respect you gain. The less you explain, the stronger your position becomes. Because now you've demonstrated something rare. Self-trust, self-assurance, self-validation. You don't need their approval. You've already approved yourself. That confidence is magnetic. So from now on, state your position once. Calmly, clearly, without emotion. Then stop. If they push, stay silent or repeat yourself once. Never elaborate. Never defend. Because the moment you defend yourself, you lose power. Stop giving power to people who aren't even on your level. Drop this in the comments. I owe no explanations. Number 4. Strategic unpredictability. This is where most people fail. They learn silence. They learn distance. They learn unreadability. And then they become consistently cold. That's not power. That's just a different kind of predictability. True power lies in unpredictability, in being impossible to categorize, in keeping people permanently off balance. Sometimes you're warm, engaged, present. You give access. You make people feel valued. They relax. They think they figured you out. Then, without warning, you go cold. No explanation. No transition. No pattern. Yesterday's behavior gets warm. Today, the same behavior gets ice. They're confused. What changed? What did I do? And you give them nothing. That confusion is power. That uncertainty is control. They can't relax around you. They can't assume anything. Every interaction now requires focus. Every word is chosen carefully. They're walking on eggshells, without knowing where the eggshells are. That's strategic unpredictability. You're not random. You're not unstable. You're emotionally inconsistent by design, while remaining completely consistent in your standards. They never know if today is forgiveness, or permanent removal. They never know if comfort equals safety, or danger. Machiavelli said, "Whosoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times." But take it deeper. Change your conduct with the moment. Be fluid. Be adaptable. Be unreadable. The moment someone thinks they understand you, you lose power. So never let them. Combine unpredictability with silence, and it becomes devastating. They obsess over decoding you, trying to dip back into your good graces. And you're already gone mentally. That's dominance. Start varying your availability. Vary your reactions. Vary your responses. Sometimes forgive instantly. Sometimes never. And never explain why. Keep them guessing. Keep them careful. Drop this in the comments. I am unpredictably powerful.
The dog is fed. The dog is comfortable. But the dog is owned, controlled, dependent, living at someone else's mercy, existing on someone else's terms. Its entire life revolves around external approval. The dog has security, but no power, comfort, but no freedom, affection, but no real respect beyond what its master chooses to give. Now look at the wolf. Silent, observant, controlled, emotionally unreadable. The wolf doesn't bark at everything. It doesn't seek approval. It doesn't react to every stimulus. It watches. It waits. It calculates. And when it moves decisively. The wolf isn't loved. It might not even be liked, but it is feared, and it is respected. The wolf moves through the world on its own terms. No one owns a wolf. No one controls a wolf. No one takes a wolf for granted. The wolf has no guaranteed security, but it has power. It has freedom. It has respect earned through presence alone. So ask yourself honestly, which one are you? Are you the dog? Eager to please, emotionally available to everyone, reacting to every provocation, barking at every perceived threat, seeking validation constantly, showing every feeling, completely transparent, and therefore completely controllable? If so, you already know how that story ends. You get fed when it's convenient. You get attention when someone needs something from you. You get respect only when someone decides you've earned it. Your entire existence depends on how others treat you. That's not power. That's dependence. That's weakness disguised as loyalty. Or are you ready to become the wolf? Ready to go silent? Ready to stop seeking approval? Ready to control your emotions instead of broadcasting them? Ready to observe instead of react? Ready to be misunderstood and completely unbothered by it? The wolf doesn't explain itself. It doesn't defend itself. It doesn't seek to be liked. It simply exists as a force. And because it exists as a force, it is treated like one, with caution, with respect, with healthy fear. This is the choice in front of you. Stay the dog and keep getting the results you've always gotten. Keep being taken for granted. Keep being emotionally manipulated. Keep living for external validation. Or become the wolf and step into an entirely different existence. An existence where you're not liked by everyone, but respected by everyone. Where you're not understood, but never taken lightly. Where you're not emotionally available, but psychologically dominant. Machiavelli said it clearly. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. The dog is loved, friendly, warm, available, but powerless. The wolf is feared, maybe not loved, maybe not liked, but respected, given space, treated carefully. And in that caution, the wolf finds freedom. You can't be both. You can't be the friendly dog everyone loves and the powerful wolf everyone respects. The energies aren't incompatible. You must choose likability or respect, comfort or power, being understood or being untouchable. And if you choose the wolf, understand what you're giving up. You're giving up emotional transparency. You're giving up being understood. You're giving up warm, comfortable interactions with most people. But you're gaining something far more valuable: psychological dominance, respect that doesn't depend on how nice you are, freedom to move through life on your terms, not someone else's. The wolf doesn't need a massive pack. It has a small, tight circle, people it trusts, people who've earned access to its real self. To everyone else, the wolf remains exactly that, a wolf. Silent, observant, controlled, unreadable, dangerous if provoked, but otherwise calm in its power. That's what you are becoming. Not cruel, not aggressive, not heartless.
just controlled, just powerful, just untouchable. You're giving up the need to be liked, the need to be understood, the comfort of being emotionally available to everyone, and you're gaining everything that actually matters. Respect, power, freedom. Stop being the dog. Stop barking at everything. Stop reacting emotionally. Stop seeking approval from every person you meet. Stop being so available, so predictable, so controllable. Become the wolf. Go silent. Observe more. React less. Control your emotions. Be selective about who gets access to the real you. Become mysterious. Become powerful. The wolf doesn't announce its presence. You feel it. When a wolf enters a space, the energy shifts. People become alert, not because the wolf threatens them, but because it is controlled, powerful, and unreadable. That's the presence you need. That's the energy you need. That's the power you need. Stop being domesticated. Stop being tamed. Stop being controllable. Become wild again. Not dangerous in action, but dangerous in potential. Dangerous in mystery. Dangerous because no one ever quite knows what you're capable of. Drop this in the comments. I move like a wolf. Number 6. Fear balanced with respect. This is where most people get it wrong. They think power means being feared, so they become cold, harsh, intimidating. That's not power. That's instability. Fear alone breeds resentment, rebellion, enemies waiting for weakness. Others go the opposite way. They chase respect through character, fairness, kindness. They become good, honest, understanding people, and they wonder why they keep getting used. Because respect alone is not protection. Respect without consequences creates entitlement. True Machiavellian power lives in the balance. People respect who you are and fear what happens if they cross you. That balance is everything. Fear alone is unstable. Respect alone is weak, but together, untouchable. When people only fear you, they obey, but secretly resent you. When you weaken, they turn on you. When people only respect you, they admire you, but push boundaries. They know there's no cost. But when people respect your value and fear losing access to you, they adjust. Machiavelli understood this. Not threats, not aggression, consequences. You build respect through competence, through value, through being irreplaceable. Then you add fear, not through intimidation, but through action. When someone crosses a line, you don't argue, you don't explain, you don't negotiate. You remove access, calmly, cleanly, permanently if necessary. No drama, no emotion, just absence. And absence is louder than any argument. Silence teaches the lesson. Loss enforces the boundary. That's real power. Not loud, not emotional. Consistent, decisive. This was never about being cruel. It was about ending the era where people felt safe disrespecting you. From now on, you speak less. You react slower. You reveal nothing that isn't earned. You don't chase understanding. You don't beg for respect. You let silence do the work. You let absence teach the lesson. Remember this. The loud are noticed. The emotional are used. The predictable are controlled. But the unreadable, they are feared. They are respected. They are remembered. Say nothing. Reveal nothing. Command fear. Command respect. And never explain why. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is power.